On this week's episode of A Beer and a Bet, we talk all things Mitch Beer Racing. Have your Jaffle irons at the ready. We talk air fryers. Nick Foot umpiring the grand final. The Big M heads to Toowoomba. A big lineup of Mitch Beer runners at Kembla Grange and, of course, Wagga. That and much, much more ahead on this episode of A Beer and a Bet. Hello and welcome to A Beer and a Bet episode, whatever. We have no idea what we're doing. G'day, Beery.
Gatto, beer and a max this week. We're recording this early, but
A max and a bet.
yeah, max and a bit. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nah, it's a
Nothing
good
wrong with
start. It is only 10 a.m., so probably be a few issues if you were drinking a beer. Hey, first off, shout out to our man Nick Foot. Gets a start in the grand final. Not playing, of course, but umpiring. And how good's that?
Yeah, I felt like such a mum the other day because I literally just watched the final just to watch footy umpiring, and I just yelled out "great call" every time he blew the great call, great call. It
Oh, been doing it all
wasn't popular
day.
amongst the other people.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't people amongst the others at the Illawarra Hotel, but
yeah.
that's a huge effort. To be umpiring in a grand final and having a share in Sesame Timbers. I don't know what's more impressive. What a man!
What a man. Be a bit awkward when you're at the Illawarra Hotel guy and then someone comes up to you and say, what team are you going for? And you go, the yellow one. Anyway, that's the
Yeah,
story.
I just have absolutely cooked about 20 ownership groups by telling them all their horses racing grand final day.
Yeah.
And they're all thinking like NRL grand final day. And then all the noms came through for this Saturday. And they're like, I thought you said this horse is racing grand final day. I'm like, yeah, the grand final day,
The.
not this stupid one up here.
Gosh. Yeah. Well, shout out to the Swannies. Hopefully the boys get the job
Well,
done. Perhaps in the crew. Hopefully it's a one-sided affair. They could turn the tables on what happened a couple of years ago. It'd be good. Who do you think will win the AFL Grand Final?
I don't care
Yeah, good. Well,
because
you should.
I'll be at Kembla here, saddling up 10 of the finest,
Yep.
and then watching the Big M steam home in a Wheatwood. So
Oof.
it's not only grand final for the AFL; it's grand final for Mitch Beer Racing stuff to have a runner in a Wheatwood.
Well, we're straight there.
It
Nice
is
little
grand final
segue.
day.
The Wheatwood, Mammoth, drawn barrier 3. Andy Mallion to ride. 6:15 p.m. Gee whiz, that's late in the day, especially grand final day. Some of us may not make that. So, what's his chances? How do you think he lines up? And is it raining? More importantly,
Can you imagine what I'm going to be like by six o'clock Saturday
unbearable.
night with this horse going around? Unbearable, mate. I'll be watching it here on my own. Fortunately enough, we've got a great relationship with John Smurden. We sent the horse up to him last night. I drove him up to Sydney, met the truck. He's up there. So John will look after him. Then I thought I'd book some flights and get up there. It's going to be about 2.5 grand to get to and back from the Gold Coast. I thought that could be well spent elsewhere. But Gano, I'm so about him. If they get this rain tomorrow, I think he'll win. I think he's flying from a horse that was cast a few months ago to now. He's drawn three. We've got Andrew Mallion on. That's probably our only concern.
That's good. That's good from you. I'm sure Andy will be pumped to hear that. Hey,
He
few
will.
other
I'll be snipping this up and sending it to him first thing Saturday morning.
absolutely, I love it. Some runners that have gone around in the past weeks been a little bit slow for the stable. Sunrise, we saw you down there strapping the horse. That's obviously slowed it down a little bit. She ran pretty well though. 3-year-old, she did a pretty good job down there. She produced her best run in Australia and broke the class benchmark by 5 lengths. So the conclusion is only that you slowed her down, mate.
I regret running her. That track was a three, borderline a two.
Yeah, fast too.
I thought it was disgraceful down there, and
Good to see you open the shoulders up.
easy to say when you get beat. Easy to say when you get beat that you blame the tracks, but yeah, dished up a very firm track, and you just saw when she come off the bridle, she sort of the further she went down the straight, her head sort of went up instead of going down, and she didn't like it at all. So we'll be staying away from tracks like that in general, but especially with her. But Data was really good. Don't jump off her. She's a nice filly that's going to win plenty of races.
Yeah, really disappointing to be dished up a good 3. But anyway, it's the great game that we play. Would love to start on a good 4 every time we went around. Hey, Steph's asked me to plug the Gong Day. So the tickets are now available. So those of you, if you aren't subscribed to Mitch Beer Racing, head to mitchbeerracing.com.au. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. You get your newsletter, then you'll get a invitation to the Gong Day. Invite only. So there's only one way to do it, Beery. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's going to be a huge day. Tell us about it.
Invite only, but we've invited everyone, so I'm not really sure
Oh yeah,
how
invite only if you're on the newsletter list. Yeah.
the
Ah,
invite only you've been invited. Yeah, but
got to
to
make
be
a
fair,
big deal out of these things, mate.
I think yeah. So we've got to make things exclusive.
Yeah.
But no, I think we've got nearly 200 people booked, to capacity. It'd be huge. DJ, beers, pizza, you name it. Me at the Howling Wolf till about 4 a.m. Shouting espresso martinis afterwards. So I don't know
Don't, mate.
if
Just
that's
don't
not
wake me up when you walk in, for God's sakes.
if that's not up your alley, then get out of the stable.
Yeah.
Just get out. Get your 5 or 10% and get out of here.
It'll be elite. It'll be an absolute day out, one not to miss, and one that you will no doubt want to book your tickets for 2025 when you recover from your hangover. But it'll be awesome. So Steph will send those out. Subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't already. And if you are an owner, you will get that. So don't worry about going to the website and subscribing. You will get that there. And it should come out tomorrow, Barry. So that'll be great. Let's look at some runners ahead. Then we'll have a little look at the trials at Nowra, Track Work Whispers. We'll have a little bit of a chat. I called you midweek and had a few food options. So we might bring those up a bit later on. But let's tackle Canberra. Shivago heads down there. Karai Keating's booked.
Yeah, just chasing a soft track with him. He'll either go there or we'll wait for Kembla here on Thursday. But just needs a little bit of sting out of track. He's been down the beach, disappointing, but hopefully can bounce back.
Head to Kembla Grange Saturday. This is the moment. Blake Spriggs, Mr. Metrics, Rory Hutchings, and Cream Risers, Ashley Morgan.
Yeah, we've got a lot of horses in Kembla, just a bit dependent on what the weather does. We've got another meeting here on Thursday, and then we've got a big Maruya meeting on Friday with plenty of good prize money races. So a few in, they won't all run. This is a moment was awesome. His last start, he's been down the beach, had a good week. Our man Spriggsy sticks Barry 1, and if it doesn't matter, good 3, heavy 10, he'll go through it the same. So he's probably the pick of them. Cream Risers won't run if it's soft. Mr. Metrics will probably have a good spin around here and then back up in the Cootamundra Cup next Sunday. Time-honoured Cootamundra Cup. So for those of you that are thinking about going to Cootamundra next Sunday, look out. It's a big day.
Love that. That'll be good. Will we see you out there?
You probably will not. No.
Be a big day without Beery.
This is what I do. I look at noms. I look
Yeah.
at the noms, and on Monday, I'm like, yeah, we're going to take 6 to Cootamundra. We'll stay the night. And then by Sunday, the 2 Irish boys are taking 2 in the float. I'm like, yeah, make sure you get the colours.
Yeah, and we were going to go to the Valley on Friday night. Then you were going up to Toowoomba Saturday, and now you're staying at Kembla. So there's a reason I reckon why you're staying at Kembla. Race 6, number 12,
yeah, well,
Artful Persuasion.
You said when I said, "Oh, I don't know about this Valley race. I've drawn wide. It's drawn wide. It's a long way to go." And you said, "Just run it. You beat." I won't even repeat what you called me. And then I hung up and went and scratched it. So that's what you said.
Oh, lucky you've got to create the narrative on that one. Artful Persuasion goes around in race 6. Blake Spriggs, barrier 2, draws well. Horses flying. I suggest that might be the reason why you're keen to collect a trophy, a Class 1.
He's going to be such a good.
Chuck
He's going to be
trophy.
such a good price.
Yeah,
he's going to be such a good price because there's all these city train, big trainer, flavor of the month things that have been knocking around midweek. Pretenders, I'm calling them
flogged.
pretenders, and they're going to all come down here and start a short price, and we're going to flog them. That horse is ready to fly. Gets to 1,400, draws 2. He could be the reason 3 Sydney horses go on English Digital next week. Artful Persuasion.
Good stuff. Another horse we're pumped to see at the races. Big wraps on this horse. Brazil trialed super race number 7, the top weight. Blake Spriggs aboard.
Yeah, I've never had a 6 start maiden horse trial and then receive 4 eye emoji texts afterwards, which is always encouraging. Yeah, really nice horse. Whether the 1200, whether it's just one or two a little bit sharp, but he'll be getting back, he'll be switching off, and he will be nothing short of steaming down the middle of the track. Whether the post comes a bit quick for him before he gets out to 14 in a mile, but he ain't going to be a maiden too long.
Yep, love it. He's flying. He'll have a win or two, I reckon, at least in him this preparation. Race 8, shall look Los Padres. River Frost is an emergency. Suspect that he may get a run, but we'll see. Well, Shaluk's flying. Obviously, didn't go, her way at Rose Hill, and Los Padres enormous in a trial.
Yeah, and they both love the cut out of the ground. Looking outside, it's pretty doom and gloom out there. So even if it sort of ceases up, it's not going to be a rock hard track. So they'll appreciate that. Shalook, we just ducked when we should have dived last start. She would have finished a bit closer in at midway grade, and Los Padres finished the preparation super. The quicker they go and the quieter you ride him, the better he goes. So big field, his wet track form's terrific. Two horses that will really should be factoring the finish.
Yep, Miss Big Shot. Looking forward to seeing this horse go around, nominated for Wagga, drawn barrier 16 at Wagga and Kembla Grange. So that's a little unfortunate there. Any chance she'll go around, or will we just be more patient?
We've waited 4 years to get things to the races, so
yeah, we'll wait. Another week.
She's run 16 twice in 48 hours, so we'll just see how we go. But we might save her for next Thursday. She trialled. I reckon she was one of the better trials at Hawkesbury the other day, and a few of them trialled pretty well. So there's a 1200-meter maiden here for her next Thursday, so we might have to be a little bit more patient with her.
Like the scores from the golf day, you dead set. You just can't make these barriers up. That's ridiculous. Suspect draws barrier 7. Nick K. You're not the boss. In race 7 draws barrier 16. Nick K. Both of those head there, mate.
They will. Yeah, we'll make it the trek down to what we can call our homeland down there in the SDRA. It's about time we went back down there and showed face. Yep. We'll head down there on Monday, and by we I mean two of my staff.
I love it. With the colours, of course, don't forget to take those with your big suspects.
Never forget the colours. I'd rather leave some horses there.
Currently a heavy 8 down there at Wagga, because you'd expect by Monday that track will be back probably in the soft 5 range.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful.
Righto. You've impressed me this week with a couple of things, and I don't say that lightly because it's rare. But I called you the other day with an absolute game changer. I said, Beery, this is going to change your life. And lo and behold, you've been doing it for 6 months. But if you ever put a sausage in an air fryer, oh my God.
That's not a euphemism.
No, mate. No. It is not. And I rolled the dice here. I was a bit lazy. Weather was a bit average. And I thought, I'll roll the dice. I put this in. I tried it. Phenomenal. The best thing ever, like the best way you've ever cooked a sausage.
You can't ever go back. Once you start cooking sausages in the air fryer,
mate,
you gotta get your barbecue and just donate it straight on Facebook Marketplace. Donate it to Goodwill.
If I could pick my barbecue, if my barbecue wasn't stuck into the wall, I would have sold it already. But it's unfortunate it is. But I was dirty on myself because I called you and I was like, I really wanted this to fail. I wanted this to be a disaster, and it's un-Australian, and it's the best thing ever. Then you've come back with Beery's cooking tips, and you've hit me with an absolute doozy, a special. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I copped this from my brother, and he's not that good of a brother because he doesn't listen to this podcast anyway, so I could just claim it as my own. But just straight up Jaffa iron, just the triangle Jaffa iron, 1 slice of bread, crack an egg, another slice of bread, put it down. Absolutely phenomenal. Perfect yolk, cooks all the way through. It's amazing. You'll never have just eggs on toast again. It's just done for you.
Any addition, like any ham or anything thrown in there, or are you just straight batting it?
Nah, mate, you don't need it. I tell you as well, one of the most degenerate things I think I've ever done in my life, which is a huge call because I am a piece of shit. I the other day was so lazy and mildly hungover. I just was craving hot dogs, right? So I went and got just your standard
Oh,
processed, disgusting hot dogs. And I got home, I was so hungry. I put them in the kettle and boiled the kettle, and it worked so good. And then the next day, one of the boys, like 3:30 the next morning, one of the boys is like, "Oh, there's something. I think the milk's off." And then I remembered that I hadn't really washed the kettle out that well. And I was at that point where I'm like, "Fuck,
whatever.
I need to sort my life out."
Yeah, that's a big moment. That is a genuine eye opener. If anyone's got a spare kettle they're throwing out, maybe the Irish
You
boys
know,
will
I
step
challenge
up.
someone to send through something worse than that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just absolute filth. Where are you going with your life, moment?
There you go. In the just email that to Mick at Mitch Beer Racing. Maybe don't put that in the YouTube comments. We'll have to just make sure they're appropriate, and we'll read them out next week. Hey, a couple of horses picked up for the stable, couple heading your way. Outspeed for the Mailbag Bloodstock team picked up for $16,000. Looking forward to training that horse, mate.
Yeah, we love getting a little stayer in the camp, especially one that can go through its grades and on some of its better runs, it's going to have no dramas finding its feet here pretty quickly. So have a short spell, go to Caroline Price where she turns around a lot of these horses, does a phenomenal job down there. But looks like a little order to charge 2.0.
Love that. If you're interested there, reach out and skip a beat, a sprinter for $10,000. Cheap as chips. Horse has form behind a stable star. We could say.
Well, I tried to buy this horse when it ran second to Sesame Timbers. You
Yeah.
did the data and was like, well, first two have gone enormous. So I'm like, and they wanted a fair amount of money for it. And I said, no. And then it
Oh.
went to a mile and flopped. And then it backed up over 1,300 and flopped again. And then they rang me. That's when you know.
That's when you got
And
them.
yeah, when they call you back, that's when you know. And picked it up for bugger all. We've given it a spell, comes back into work Monday. An absolute smoky. It's not going to change anyone's life, but
No.
for 10 grand, I think it's a sort of horse that we can go and win a $45,000 maiden first up with it, 100%, and win a couple around end of spring, Christmas time. She's our little Christmas bonus.
Love that. Steph at mitchbeerracing.com.au for more information if you want to get involved in Skip a Beat. All right, mate. Time for a staking plan. I'm going to give you $200 this week because it's a big week. And something the other day said apparently you're beating me in the staking plan, which is absolutely, it has to be garbage. But anyway, I'm going to give you $200 that way. I can get, you can be minus 200 and I can sort of chase you down.
Right, I'm going to have 50 on Artful Persuasion.
Was that the mask
I'm
kicking
going to
over
have,
there?
yeah, just let me, I need to shut my eyes for this. Hopefully, people listening in their car, they can't actually see me adding
Yeah.
this up.
Just thought you had
50
a
on
stroke.
Artful Persuasion,
Yeah.
50 on Menmouth, and I'm going to have 100 on You're Not the Boss from Barrier 16 at Wagga on Monday.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
There you go.
Wow. All right. I'm going to take you to.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
see that coming, did
didn't
you?
see that coming. That's good. That's good.
Neither did I.
I'm gonna have a double. I'm gonna have an all up. Call it what you want, a
Oh,
multi, whatever it is. Artful Persuasion wins into Amelia's Jewel at Rosehill. I don't know what price you'll get. Amelia's Jewel's around 340, $3, something like that. Artful Persuasion will probably, I don't know, what do you reckon? Around $5 or $6?
but you make the markets, mate. I just train it.
Oh, $21. So
Are you going to have 200 on it?
we'll have all, yeah, I'm just going to, you will never be able to catch me after this. And you'd be that nervous. I've had you on tilt at least 4 times this week. And you're going to be watching. Part of you is going to say, I don't want this horse to win.
I'll tell you what, though, I wish I could do this on Saturday because
Yeah.
if that track at Toowoomba is worse than a 6,
Yeah.
I would have 200 and I'd borrow your 200
Yeah.
and have it on Menmouth as well.
What price are we getting, Mammoth?
He's $12 now. And
Oh.
honestly, if it rains,
Wasn't he
he should be,
17s? What have you done?
yes. I don't know. I don't ask me. I just train him. But he's just yeah.
Flying.
Yesterday I dropped him off. I dropped him off up and put him on the truck and that. And I don't have kids, but I had him all bandaged up and his rug on and that and his bag packed. And I put him on the truck and I drove away. And I actually
Bit of emotional.
got a bit emotional. Yeah, I got a bit emotional. I felt like, just as long as you come home, everything's safe. Is that what happens when you have kids or you don't
Yeah.
care?
Call me. No, call me
Yeah, you'd be
anytime.
dropping them off knowing they're gone for 4 days, going, thank God.
No, you do.
See you
Like you
later.
drop them off and you think, oh, I had to get rid of them. And then you sit there and you turn the TV on with the missus and you're like, geez, I miss, where are these rat bags? Where have they gone? Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
So,
his box was empty this morning. That
yeah, you get all
it
emotional.
just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. So anyway, I just wanted to run well. I love
Beautiful. I love that. Well, I'm glad you don't have any kids giving you cooking exploits, feeding them hot dogs in a kettle. Uh, we won't be sending them down to Uncle Mitch's house anytime soon.
that's rattled you, hasn't it?
That's that's a new level of low, even for you, mate. It's been an absolute blast. Hopefully, Mammoth dominates. If anyone wants to get involved with the stable, Steph at mitchbeerracing.com.au. Reach out. Want to race a horse with us? Have a great weekend. Go to the Big M, and we'll be back soon.
See ya.